Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 immerses you in 15th century Bohemian life. It establishes itself early as a graphically detailed, hardcore, immersive, narrative-driven, role-playing game with a lot of depth. Immediately, the incredible graphics and storytelling pull you right into the action. You, Henry of Skalitz, are thrown into a series of action scenes and introduction to gameplay mechanics. Your castle's being attacked. You're given a crossbow to help fend off soldiers trying to scale the walls with ladders. You are then given a sword to help fend them off as they breach the top of the walls. Suddenly, you are hit by an arrow and are wounded. As Henry of Skalitz, you are whisked back to events a few weeks earlier that led up to this, and your story begins. In a masterful combination of storytelling, historical accuracy, and introduction to gameplay, you and your merry group of men are delivering a letter to Lord Otto von Burgo at Trotsky, a nearby town. During your ride, you are introduced to Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. You are his bodyguard and his friend, and you are all headed to Trotsky. As you learn about some of your friends, you are also introduced to horse riding, dialogue choices, and more historical information about the foreign armies rampaging throughout Bohemia in the 15th century. You are approached by armed men who work for Lord Otto von Burgo. Upon talking, you all learn that in fact, your leaders are at war with each other. Continuing to introduce gameplay mechanics, you are prompted to set your playstyle: soldier, advisor, or scout. You are introduced to ability points and to persuasion, which plays a vital role in the game. You have many ways to persuade in order to get your way. You can use peaceful talk. You can lie. You can get your way based on the way you look or your reputation. You can dominate through superiority. You can use your might as a hero or protector. And you can persuade through threats. Using your persuasion, you manage to avoid conflict here, and your party then camps for the night before heading into Trotsky. While camping, you're introduced to inventory, to outfits, and to items. You're introduced to your trusty mutt and how to call and feed him. You're introduced to food and other items to pick up and use. And you continue to use dialogue and persuasion to earn reputation within your group. While camping, you're also introduced to fighting. The story walks you through preparing for sword fighting practice with Hans.
Ready?
You learn about donning armor and a weapon. You learn that the fighting system is both easy to learn and hard to master. Attacking in specific directions. Chain attacking for more and faster attacks. Blocking to avoid damage, but which costs stamina. Perfect blocks, which create an opportunity to strike back. And riposte, which is that counterattack made right after a perfect block. You get more opportunity to customize your character. Dialogue choices offer up increasing your strength, agility, vitality, or speech. Finally, you get to choose a specialty: Houndmaster, Stealth, Survival, or Scholarship. You have no idea how these are going to impact your upcoming play. And you also choose a weapon affinity: a sword, a heavy weapon, unarmed with your fists, or marksmanship. KCD2 does a wonderful job of gradually introducing you to the game mechanics while moving the story forward. With the core game mechanics introduced, the story then jumps into a higher gear. After stripping down with Hans to take a bath in the nearby lake, you hear women. You learn how to crouch and how to throw a stone to distract, and you get as close to the women singing as you can. But suddenly, your party is attacked, and you watch helplessly as they are slaughtered while you stand in the lake, half naked. The raiding party sees you, and the chase is on. You and Hans run into the woods where you fall off a cliff and barely escape death before Hans gets you to a small cottage. An older woman named Bohemia takes you in and saves your lives. While staying with Bohemia, You learn a number of additional gameplay mechanics, including bleeding and bandages, the importance of regular eating, drinking, and sleeping, save game mechanics like autosaves, saving and quitting, saving while sleeping in a bed, and drinking save your schnapps to create a save point, looting bodies, carrying them, and even burying them, pouches to hold potions and food for quick access, belts to increase weapon, shield, and ammo slots, the importance of bathing and how important your looks make in the game, the importance of persuasion to avoid bad situations when possible, picking herbs, and learning alchemy used to create potions. At this point in KCD2, you have a lot of information under your belt, but very little time using it and learning how to be effective with it. Still, you have all the basics down, and it's time for your story to finally really begin. You and Hans say goodbye to Božena and her granddaughter, Pavlina, and you head to Trotsky to try to accomplish your original task of delivering a letter to Lord Otto von Bergau. You know only the very basics of the game: inventory, item interaction, fighting, persuasion, and your journal used to guide and inform. But you have nothing. Your clothes and weapons are gone. Your identity cannot be proven. You don't have the original letter, and you have no way to get into Trotsky. KCD2 throws you into this beautiful and difficult 15th century Bohemian world. Now, what are you going to go do? So, do you win the game? Is there a final boss fight and you're done? No. KCD2 doesn't have a single win the game objective in the arcade sense. Like the first game, KCD1, its ultimate goal is narrative driven, not a checklist or an end state. Warhorse Studios, the developer of KCD1 and KCD2, have been very clear with both games. The goal is immersion in a believable medieval life. So, live Henry's life authentically. Endure history rather than conquering it. See how your decisions echo through a grounded, realistic medieval setting. If you want to boil down to one sentence, the goal is finish Henry's story, not by becoming a legend, but by surviving a brutal world and choosing what kind of man he becomes. And how do you finish Henry's story? Survive, grow, and shape Henry's fate amid the political chaos of 15th century Bohemia, while pursuing justice, loyalty, and personal meaning in a world far bigger and harsher than you. What does all that actually mean in terms of gameplay? Rather than defeat the final boss, the goal is to complete the main story arc, which resolves major conflicts, decide how Henry lives: an honorable knight, a ruthless survivor, a loyal retainer, a cunning opportunist, or something else you create. Your goal is also to leave your mark on the world through your dialogue choices, your combat style, your reputation, and your allegiances. So take Henry anywhere you want to take him. Make him what you want him to be. Go into KCD2 with the idea of experiencing it rather than beating it. Hey, here's some bonus material for you and something really important to KCD2. Reputation. In KCD2, reputation is this layered system that affects every interaction in the game. Reputation is tracked mainly by location and faction, with some individual non-player character attitudes layered on top. Here's how location comes into play. Each town, village, castle, or region tracks its own reputation value for Henry. What you do in one place does not automatically carry over to another. Here's some examples. Steal in one town, guards there distrust you. Help villagers in another town, there's no benefit in the first town in helping those villagers because they're different locations. That is the most important reputation value, is by location. Now here's how faction comes into play. Some reputation is tied to groups, such as guards, nobility, traders, peasants, religious figures. If you repeatedly offend or help a faction in a region, members of that faction will react accordingly. Some specific NPCs are also influenced by reputation. For example, quest givers, merchants, companions, nobles. They will track personal opinion of Henry, but that's really a very low level compared to the location and the faction impacts. So those NPC-specific reputations can affect things like dialogue options, prices you might get, and their willingness to help you. For example, a merchant may like you personally, even if the town guard distrusts you, or vice versa. So, when playing KCD2, remember, you can be a hero in one town and a criminal in another. You can repair reputation locally through paying fines, serving jail time, helping locals, and donating to churches. And finally, building strong relationships with key NPCs can soften the impact of a bad local reputation. Okay, I will wrap it up here. I highly recommend you jump into KCD2 and its 15th century Bohemia. Survive, grow, shape Henry's life, and do it in this immersive and visually appealing game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Have fun.